Hi, I'm Donna Kallner, and this video is part of Lesson 2 in the Cross-Knit Looping eCourse. In this unit, you'll learn to work cross-knit looping as an edging. It's a great way to attach two pieces to each other, or to finish a rim or the edge of a garment. It can completely enclose an edge, letting you hide a seam or selvage. And as you'll see in the final video in this lesson, it doesn't always have to be on an edge and can be used as a design element with or without functional qualities. For this demonstration, I've stitched a bit of lavender into a sachet of wool felt. A couple of French knots in the center help keep the filling from shifting. And I made a round base the same size as the wool, using the cross-knit looping technique you learned in the last video. We'll call that the front of the piece. To begin the edging that attaches the round motif to the felt sachet, anchor a piece of yarn by burying the tail in the sachet. I'll demonstrate right-handed, advancing with my stitching from left to right. If you're left-handed, you'll do the opposite. Bring the yarn out where you would begin and be able to advance in your usual direction. Start by making a base row of stitches to anchor your looping. Those anchor stitches may be buttonhole stitches or simple looping or even cross-stitch embroidery, whatever lets you insert the needle behind a stitch to begin cross-knit looping on the next row. When your final anchor stitch is in place, make a U-turn with the needle and drive it back through the piece to the front side where you started. In effect, you're working in a continuous spiral where one lag is hidden where it pierces the material. With the base row in place, begin cross-knit looping. At the end of each row, drive the needle back to the other side and begin another row. This demonstration shows an edging that began from 3 stitches. Yours may be 4 stitches or 5 or more. When you run out of thread, you can add on by spit splicing, but it can be hard to draw the splice through some felts. So here's what you do. At the end of a row, run the needle back through the piece as usual, as if you were going back to the starting point for the next row, and then bury the tail back up under the edging and trim it off. Bury the tail of a new thread under the edging and bring the new thread out to where you would have come if the thread had not run out. Now you're ready to stitch the next row with the new thread. If you're working an edging where the end meets the beginning, here's what you do on your last row. Make the first stitch in the last row, and before advancing to the next stitch in that row, slide the needle under the first stitch in the first row to close the gap. Now make the next stitch in the last row and slide the needle under its mate in the first row. Continue until the last row is complete and the gap is closed. Then bury the tail. I added a few French knots for color contrast in the center of the cross knit looping round on the front of this sachet. This is really a great way to build your skills in sampling these two techniques that are the focus of this lesson. In the next video, I'll give you several ideas for other practice projects